Hey, good morning. How's everybody?
Morning. Good.
Morning. What's up? Yeah, good.
Morning, bud. Yeah, all good. What's happening?
What's happening?
Yo.
What is it? Someone was saying something, but I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, I got a couple of good buys this morning. I'm glad we got the little pullback.
Yeah, I think we're gonna rip as well, especially the
Yeah,
Dixie
we
is
spoke about it
rejecting.
yesterday. Yeah, the short time from our side was at the top, so this was a good little pullback. I got into a few other alts. I got a bit more Phantom, got a bit of XRP, got a bit of Theta, and then Doge. I got a little bit stopped on Doge, so my position isn't as big as what it used to be, but I'm still
You
in.
spot or leverage?
Both. Spot, I got tons of stuff. Like I got like nearly every coin.
You should make
Yeah,
a
a lot
video
of,
on your why these coins, like a detailed deep dive, few hours, whatever, like a long
yeah,
format.
I will. Yeah, I will.
Morning, guys. Morning. Yeah, let's start quickly. I think yesterday we got exactly what we deserved. I'm gonna be honest. I think there was a market pump. We never had a unique angle around the market pump. Our thumbnail was bland. Our topic, our interpretation of, like, there were so many things we could have done around the market pump, and we went with one that was vanilla and boring, to be honest. Like, in terms of as a viewer, no real reason, no real intrigue, no real reason, and I think we got punished for it. I think we deserve to get punished for it. And I think in my mind, I think it was a bit of a wasted opportunity. Like, we had a pump, we had the interest back in crypto. Everyone came back for a day or 2 days, and I don't know. I think we botched it, to be honest. I don't know if anybody else has any feelings about yesterday's dismal performance.
So, Ron, I'm just going to be like a little bit honest here, just looking off the past. So, you guys have nailed when the markets are sideways and when they're down within your show, but there is a drop off when the markets go bull, and I don't know what it is. Like, I even remember the last 2 waves in the beginning of the year. Whenever it's bull, like, there's a slowdown in momentum. Like, you actually get higher views when a down or side market than what you do in bull. So, I don't know what we do. Like, yesterday, I would have done
I kind of think
something
it's because they don't trust us. Because we kind of call, and then I'm just guilty of this as everyone, but we kind of call it.
Mine go very quickly to the upside when the marks go like this, but obviously get destroyed in the down and things like that. But I'm just trying to figure out with runs, like, I think that
I think to be honest, like, even as a viewer, when I look at our thumbnail title, we didn't really have an angle, and we didn't have an angle, And we didn't have an angle about like a smart angle, even in the show. We didn't have a smart angle in the show about like why the market was pumping. Like I pieced it together and I said, like understand the rally or whatever else, but we didn't have a very compelling show. Like before, the YouTube knows if you have a very compelling reason before the show, YouTube knows, and it drives people to the show. We didn't have one yesterday, and I think it was a wasted opportunity because if you look at the bubbles numbers, we doubled our bubbles numbers, or 50% on our bubbles numbers, 60%, which means that people actually did come back.
Yeah, they did. They did. But
so just to put it really simply.
Well, think about it. You had like 2 or 3 bullish shows before that, and basically followed the same sort of thing. Like there wasn't like a difference. Again, there are all the bubbles yesterday and all the tiles. Like I don't know. I just feel like it just split the audience. They all watched the shows, but it was the same narrative. Like there wasn't anything different about your tile to like the other shows.
Yeah. Also, I mean,
sorry, you go, Ram.
Let's just watch out on how many bubbles tiles we're doing in a day. More than one is a crime. Like if we're gonna do one bubble tile, that's cool, but 2 and 3 becomes a bit of overkill. On the channel, it just looks like bubble. So let's make sure that we start paying attention to that.
Okay.
Cool. Let's go.
Just to explain that, my tile was the only one of the day. At the point when Annie had done hers the day before, that was borderline, but we went with it because we were like struggling to execute, and then Sheldon changed his later, which I think amplified it a bit. Then having 3.
We shouldn't like again. We got 3. We got 3 thumbnails, which are all bubbles thumbnails on our YouTube channel. To be honest, if I'm a user and I just see 3 bubbles tiles, that's me, eh? That's sure thing.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done it, and Sheldon probably shouldn't have done it, and we should have just left it at Annie. In hindsight.
Yeah, but I think the back has to stop at Kaylin because she has, like it's not your job to start looking at Sheldon's tiles and Car's tiles. We do have a funnel at one point in our business, and that funnel is like seeing all the thumbnails. So, Kaylin, I think you need to say, guys, I can't do another bubble tile. Even if someone requests, say, look, we've got one already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, Hustle was also well on his way to do a bubble tile, which I stopped there because I knew we already had Miles.
Yeah.
Miles and,
Pranay.
Sheldon.
Pranay.
Yeah.
I'm getting fucking newsletter. I'm getting fucking pings every time someone signs into the fucking newsletter. It has to stop.
No, but I turned it off. Are you still
I'm still getting them.
I'm literally turning that off now because I can't find any emails in my inbox other than Substack emails. I'm literally doing it right now. So
please, Jesus, jeez.
Yeah, I have turned it off, by the way. That you should only get it when somebody does like monthly starts, milestones, weekly starts, and that's it. Everything else is turned off. I don't know why. When's the last notification you got?
You're killing my high here, bro. You're killing my. I woke up this morning. No, right now. 2 minutes.
Oh, wait. Okay, I've got it. What's wrong? Okay, I've got it. I think you're getting it for Good Morning Crypto and not Rand's show notes. I turned it off for Rand's show notes, but you also I turned it off for the other one as well.
Okay, now where do I find my actual newsletter subscribers? Can someone tell me where to look?
Yeah, you go on dashboard on top right.
Top right.
And top right, there's an arrow and on that you click on Rand's show notes.
Hold on, it says notes, explore, chat, activity, start writing, settings, support, get the app.
No, click on the arrow right next to dashboard.
I don't see a dashboard. I see inbox. Okay, it doesn't matter. We'll do it after. You'll show me after the morning call. All right, let's go. Let's get into content for today.
What was that thing that you tweeted this morning about the Calvin and Craig? I know quite little about BSV and stuff, but I see that there's some sort of issue there.
Craig Wright claims that he's Satoshi, right?
Yep.
Obviously, no one believes him, but he still thinks he's Satoshi. Now, he had a billionaire that used to support him, and it seemed like the billionaire drank the Kool-Aid that he was Satoshi. His name's Calvin Air. Calvin Air made his money in gaming and gambling and stuff like that. He actually has been in jail as well. He's been arrested in the US. I don't think he's actually allowed in the US, or maybe he's allowed in the US, but he made his money and he ended up in jail. But he's a billionaire. He's like this steamy billionaire, probably in his 60s, travels on yachts, just shags a lot of women. Like he always posts pictures of like on the yacht with like these models and whatever. Like he's like full steam ahead. And he was the one who was behind Craig Wright saying, no, Craig's definitely Satoshi. Craig's definitely Satoshi. Anyway, long story short, now he's turned on Craig. He's now realized that Craig's not Satoshi. Craig's not fucking Satoshi. In the story. Yeah.
Very interesting. So he was like this guy that was constantly backing Craig and pushing the narrative and believing the story. And now Craig's last believer has basically left it.
Correct. And the guy who's been funding him. Even though Craig should have a lot of his own money. I don't know what the story is. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. That's okay, now I get it.
I mean, that story wouldn't mean anything to you unless you're a real crypto OG. Because you would have had to, like, I actually interviewed Craig Wright a while back with CNBC. In the middle of the CNBC interview, he switched off the camera. He's like, you can't fucking ask that. And he switched off the camera. Like, man, the guy's fucking, he's mental. The guy's fucking cooked.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose,
what did you ask? What did you ask?
Yeah, what did you ask actually?
I don't remember. It was a long time ago. It was really a long time ago.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I suppose from a market perspective, we did sort of, people are saying pullback. We did get a pullback, but it's like 28.3-ish to 27.7, 8, 6-ish. So it's not major or anything. Yeah, it sort of began last night when that Satoshi account tweeted, and then I don't know if you realized, about 10 minutes later, like 10,000 BTC went to Kraken. And that's exactly when it started.
Yeah, I think a lot of it also has to do with Powell. I think Powell always scares the fucking markets. It's just, Powell always just tells us what he's going to do. And for some reason, one day after Powell tells us what we're going to do, we forget about it.
Yep. And one of the other members of the Fed said that we'll probably raise rates again. I think his name is Bowman. And Jamie Dimon also came out and reaffirmed that he expects 7% rates. So, yeah, people are calling for higher rates when the market is still pricing. Actually, I'm going to check the market pricings, but they were not pricing any more rate hikes 3 days ago, but I'll check now. I presume they're still not.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still not. So people think the market is pricing that the market. So, well, like, if you want to think about it, that the market still has to price in more rate increases, and it isn't doing so. So just be aware of that.
Yeah. I see that Dixie is over 107.
Did it hit 107? So was it
107, 107.1, 107, 105. Yeah, the Dixie is fucking strong. I mean, I guess the good thing is that I don't think the strength of the Dixie is going to continue forever. So I think it's going to be a case of the Dixie will, I mean, I don't think the Dixie is going to go back to 115. Also, it's had 12 green weeks in a row. Generally, when something has 12 green weeks in a row, I'm quite, I don't know. It's usually as a pullback.
Yeah, there's a pullback, but the chart looks amazing.
It's looking tired, guys. There's some bearish divergence on it as well on the daily, and
it broke structure on the 4 hour. The Dixie is gonna melt faces. I think it's gonna drop hard.
Yeah, I've got gold looking for a bounce here on that rejection. Gold sitting on strong support as well, so it could be quite a nice gold long here.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting for the 5 minute on gold. It's coming. It's coming.
Are you guys really trading 5 minute charts on gold?
For entry, definitely.
You fucking DJs, I love it.
But it's interesting on the Dixie. The Dixie broke the 50. The Dixie just broke the 5 and the 15-minute structure as well. So like we like it has to reverse at some point. If it doesn't reverse now, it will go to like 110 tops, and then reverse from there. Yeah. But it has to.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What else is happening, guys?
Don't know if you saw the CZ class action. It's not CZ, sorry, that's wrong. It's CZ. Well, I suppose it's BAM Holdings and stuff.
That's such rubbish. I mean,
look, they're basing it off tweets. They are basing it off that tweet that he put out beforehand. So it's a tricky one. Like clearly, the reasoning behind it is that they wanted to monopolize they're saying all this stuff. But you're silly to not think that his tweet hasn't had an effect on FTX. But then at the end of the day, FTX did have a hole. FTX did do illegal things, and FTX was clearly in the wrong for years. So, like, it's a tough one. But yeah, it's pretty garbage, to be honest. It's also filed by some nobody in California, Northern District of Oakland.
I mean, honestly, what a waste of time. Honestly, what a waste of time.
And money and whatever else. Yeah, waste. What a waste.
Yeah.
On anything from this point forward in regards to CZ, I just think is just laughable, really.
Yeah.
Yep.
If they were gonna get him, they would have got him by now. I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
The ETFs did very little volume. They did a total of, I think it was like $2 million, if I'm correct. Yeah, $2 million.
Yeah, it was about 2 million, all the ETFs combined.
2 million.
Yep, and it's not shares traded.
That's it.
What?
The 6 new funds by ProShares, VanEck, Bitwise allow investors to take positions in exchange traded products based on Ether for the first time. The 6 funds saw trading volumes total only $1.92 million in their first day of trading, according to data from the LSE.
Now's the time to go back to that rover tweet, Rad. What did he say? Zillions or?
No, trillions.
I mean, look, the positive thing about that is that there's absolutely no retail in this market.
Yeah, but the only thing now
funny? Ethereum did 12 billion worth of trading volume on centralized exchanges. 12 billion versus 2 million.
That's crazy.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So what else is?
When do you get worried about delistings? Can you just the reason they put up these ETFs is for fees and all these sort of things, and it's like
no. I mean, come on, these guys have a long-term time horizon. These guys have a long-term time horizon. Day one. It's like, hey guys, day one.
Yeah, it's not a meme coin.
Fair. When you mentioned gold, I think it was Dylan that is bouncing off support or something. Yeah, there's actually been quite a divergence between gold and Bitcoin in the last week, which is quite interesting. Bitcoin has been going up, obviously, and gold has been going down. Usually they do move in tandem quite closely, and they haven't been correlated with markets for a while. So that divergence was interesting. But if gold is at support and Bitcoin is slightly pulled back, then this decorrelation could continue, but the actual movement, the direction could flip. So that's something I'm also keeping an eye at.
It's just screaming gold bounce here, but I don't know so much about BTC, but yeah, BTC's on a good area, 25.
Okay.
65. What was the number? 27.5.
Yes. And we rejected off the 200 week, 200 day as well. If you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the FriendTech. They didn't exploit the app, but they've started SIM swapping a load of users. They're just finding users with multiple ETH portfolios and looking at their Twitter. They're obviously looking through thousands of accounts, and they've managed to get a few now. So they SIM swap you, basically get into your FriendTech and then sell your FriendTech keys and then wire the ETH to themselves. It's happened to a good few people.
Say that again slowly.
So they obviously are looking at thousands of accounts, and then they're just looking at your Twitter, and they're able to SIM swap you. And when you obviously get onto their phone, you're able to get into their FriendTech. They basically then sell their keys or their portfolio and then just wire the ETH to themselves. So that's the way they're doing it. Usually when you SIM swap, you can get access to Twitter, you can get access to a few things. And if you're a person who's in crypto, you have all these gateways involved that they can't get hold of your crypto because you're not 2FA'd with your phone number. But for FriendTech, you actually had to use your phone number. A lot of people did.
How does this swim swap work?
If you've got 2FA activated, can they still get past, Joe?
You can't get. There's no 2FA
Yeah,
on Friendtech.
If you get into the cloud service on someone else's SIM card, you can access the 2FA.
Bombay, how do I in this subscribers? How do I know which is specifically to the one newsletter and the other newsletters? Because it just says all subscribers.
Yeah, you click on the dashboard option, like on the home page on dashboard. There's an arrow. You can either click on Good Morning Crypto or Rad's show notes.
Okay, got it. Okay, cool. Okay.
How many subs is it at now, out of curiosity?
528.
Oh, not bad.
Not bad for one show.
I think we need to come up with a better name than Run Show Notes.
I quite liked it, to be honest.
Well, we were thinking either Banter Show Notes or Rand Show Notes. To be honest, we just wanted to get something out so we could show the community what we, just so they could start subscribing. But yeah, we'll rebrand.
Rand Show Notes sort of has that transparency raw now. Like it's sort of.
You do like inside Rand. That would be funny.
I quite like the. I don't know.
Wait, what?
I know it's like inside Rand, but I mean it's like it's inside knowledge about Rand's head, but it's a play on words, inside Rand.
No, I don't like that. That sounds very gay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You can use the thumbnail of Sheldon behind you.
Yeah, no, jokes. Don't bring that back, bro.
SBF is today trying to find a link that can do a live stream.
There isn't a live stream because it's a federal court. They don't allow microphones.
Yeah, there won't be.
There should be. Is there no sources for updates? I mean, is there not an
there
account?
There'll be live commentary, I think.
Yeah, he's tweeting about that based on the previous book, which was written on the FTX collapse and the insights of it. And moreover, today Patrick McHenry, in fact, he tweeted saying that should Gensler continue to stonewall, the Republicans will have to subpoena the SEC from the committee to compel the productions. So this is kind of tying into the Gary Gensler's refusal to provide the documents related to the collapse of the FTX, in fact. So with the ongoing trial and Martin Shkreli, kind of tweeting about the insights of it, I think Patrick McHenry coming out and in fact tweeting about Gary Gensler being refusal to provide his role in the FTX. It kind of leads to an indictment of SEC and Gary Gensler's role in the FTX collapse itself, or trying to protect SBF from all this.
Yep, there will be a good few accounts tweeting from within the. There was one, I just can't remember. I presume I follow it, so I'll get it. There was one that has been tweeting on all of the courtroom stuff, so I'll just link his account. He usually sits in the courtroom and just updates every minute that the judge said something and their responses.
Yeah. I mean, they'll take it as an opportunity to use crypto as the whipping boy today, not just Sam Bankman-Fried as an individual. I'm sure they'll be highlighting crypto.
Like their aim here is to find out what happened. Their aim here is not really to back crypto. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, like their aim is their aim. Like any chance that they get at this point in time.
Well, don't forget it's a trial.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, he's facing 115 years, so I mean, yeah, it's a pretty big trial.
Back to the Dixie. Ben Cowan actually tweeted something quite interesting. That the last time something like this happened was in 2014, and it was the start of a pretty aggressive rally on the Dixie. It pulled back for like 3 weeks, and then it ultimately went from 85 to like 100. I just think the Dixie chart looks incredible on the weekly, to be honest. You shouldn't be saying that, oh, the Dixie's gonna whatever. The chart looks good. You'd buy it if it was a crypto when it pulls back, so it just looks great. Definitely looks overextended short term, obviously, but there's no stopping this thing when macro looks bad.
It would make sense for it to run into the end of Q4. It just based on like commodities, Christmas time spending, etc. It's the strongest time of the year for consumerism. So I mean, it would make sense if, pullbacks, sure, but probably just a correction. Hindsight, obviously, and we'll have to wait and see how that plays out.
Yeah, the yield on the 20-year treasury is going high. It's all-time high, almost 10 years high as of now. And that could probability, that means that the yields are much more lucrative in terms of investments for the investors. And I think once we could see the 10-year treasury yields falling down, we could see the rotation of money flowing in from the bonds to other capital markets as such. So that's one kind of area which is related to Dixie going up and bond yields going up as well. And probably this should work in tandem. When yields fall off, which we should see a Dixie pullback as well.
Yep. Yeah, I suppose. Well, I kind of read into this tweet, and when I saw it initially, I was like, "Oh, okay." But then I thought to myself, "Of course, they're going to think they filed for it themselves." The Bitwise CIO and the VanEck CEO both said that. Well, the Bitwise CIO, Matt Hogan, that guy, he said, "I expect we'll see a spot Bitcoin ETF this calendar year." The VanEck CEO said it looks like in early 2024 we will see a spot product. So then I was thinking, oh, okay, these issuers are bullish, but obviously they're going to be pretty positive about it because they did file for it. They're hardly going to file and then say, oh, we think it's going to be rejected or something. So I wouldn't read too deeply into any of their quotes because they're obviously going to say good things about their filing.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't worry about that. That's early days. I think the big thing today is going to be Sam's jury selection, but it's going to be after the show.
Yep.
People are going to make a lot of noise. I would actually do crypto town hall around the jury selection.
You need an exact time, actually. Let me try getting an exact time.
How much?
Federal judges take jury selection quite seriously. I'm sure tomorrow morning there will be no exception as he begins a trial in the case against SBF. As someone who's picked 35-ish juries in a federal court, I have a few thoughts on what to expect. To be fair, my juries were for civil trials. Tomorrow, Judge Kaplan will begin a criminal trial. Similarities in the dynamics far outweigh the differences. Thought one: the days of war die down over the days, and the courts are generally done. The first priority, of course, is to assure a fair trial by jury, but a further consideration is not wasting prospective juror time. So I expect things to move quick. Two, federal judges exercise a much firmer hand over questioning than in many state courts. They don't hand over the process to lawyers. They're acutely aware that the lawyers aren't looking for a fair jury. They want the jury to help them win. So three, while they always have a few looking to skirt jury duty with lame excuses, most people want to fulfill their obligations as citizens. It's inspiring to see people from every walk of life come together. Thought: I'll always remember the mechanics and housekeepers who will take 3 buses to the courthouse and always arrive early. The worst excuse: I'm too important to sit for this jury duty, especially if we're. Yeah, I mean, I'm really not saying much. I like Martin Shkreli's, what's his Shkreli's post?
Yeah, the one yesterday.
Yes.
Yes.
In fact, Paul Greenwald, even he's talking about the jury selection in the SPF page.
The Coinbase guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose from a altcoin perspective, today is, well, the bubbles are flat, down to 1%. There's no real outperformers here, which is quite annoying, and there's no real underperformers that are down. Most are just flat.
Hello.
I noticed.
Please, can I have a Musto cappuccino?
Yeah, me too, please, Carl. Me too, please.
Oatmilk, Discovery Rewards.
Oatmilk, please. Yeah, I don't have Discovery Rewards, Carl.
This is gonna be funny.
Guys, I'm not hearing any content today, to be honest. I'm not hearing anything.
Nope.
No, I'm trying. I've been looking since 7 a.m. There's really Yeah.
We're really digging, but it's hard. There is some news regarding the Honda accepting Bitcoin and Ethereum, but not too many people talk about that.
Thanks.
Actually, there is not Honda directly which accepts Bitcoin and Ethereum, but is more of a dealer that is.
Yeah, the FCF is accepting not just from Honda, but even from Mercedes as well.
Yeah, so it's
okay. Honestly, who the fuck cares? Like, I'm being honest.
Yeah, if it would have been a news like Tesla is accepting Bitcoin, it would be something maybe, not necessarily in a bear market, but this is nothing burger. But some people are putting it like it's a big thing, Honda accepting Bitcoin.
Who the hell cares?
Well, an adoption in the bull market would have been something, but since we are languishing in the bear market as of now, even the bullish news kind of gets sidelined as such, so nobody would actually care about this.
Base losing steam in terms of TVL recently.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Is that Frentech driven? Or is that?
No, Frentech is still at 50 million. Highs are 52. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, like it's the ETH ETFs having very little volume. It's Dixie on a tear. It's Powell, Diamond, and Bowman.
Did you see Dickie's tweet today? He's like, if the ETH futures are any indication, what if the Bitcoin spot ETFs like underwhelming and only does like 500 million volume in its first week? Like, sorry to be bearish, but what happens then? Kind of thing. It's kind of like what Ram was saying. I'm not saying I subscribe to this. I'm just floating the question. Kind of like that argument we had a couple months ago about the total addressable market of the ETFs and the real effect. You could mention that on the show. It's an interesting discussion.
Yeah, like as in people are overestimating the actual effect of these ETFs. It's more of a long-term play when you think about it, though. It's more of a becoming a legitimate asset and all this sort of stuff, rather than we'll get inflows because it's launched and whatnot.
Yeah, it's not an inflows thing, at least not within its first few months. It's definitely just a credibility game, especially for that older generation, TradFi, etc. But yeah, still an interesting discussion, I think.
I mean, Elio chose to do his video on CBDCs. There's Ivan's doing his on the rally is not over yet.
Elio's one, I spoke to him about it last night. He says it was the best video he's ever done. I watched it. Not a bad video, but honestly, like,
yeah, I watched this morning too.
Not really anything I care about, to be honest.
Right. Well, I mean, like, honestly, right now, it's 4 p.m. now for me anyway. I've been looking at stuff since 7 p.m. and most of it is just economically driven, like yields, Dixie, mortgage rates, stuck in Australia, the Reserve Bank kept rates the same there, building industry, job layoffs. That's literally all I've been seeing. I don't know what everyone else is seeing.
Stream an hour earlier now.
Yeah, it looks like it. When finished.
I think he does.
Finished 59 minutes ago, but he didn't live. I don't know if it was a live stream, but it only went for 10 minutes. So.
Oh, fair. Yeah, he said Bitcoin, this rally is not over. Well, he actually contradicted himself. He said Bitcoin, this rally is not over, or was October a big scam? His titles are not amazing.
Yeah. Okay, listen, there's not much here. I think researchers, you need to go and hustle. I'm not hearing much more here.
Yeah, we'll try.
All right, cool. Chat later, guys.
Okay, guys.
Ciao.